Thank you, sir and ma'am. I would now request Srimati Uma Nanduri, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, to felicitate our esteemed panelists and invited dignitaries who have assembled here for this seminar, starting with Dr. Prakash Rao, MAS, College of Physical Education, Visakhapatnam. Now I would request Dr. Pradeep to do. The University of Burdwan, to please come for the felicitation. I request Dr. Suresh Chandra Panamali College, Autonomous. Professor Shalina Mehta, Joint Chair. Dr. Manohar Kumar Pahan, Professor, Department of Sports and Yoga, National Mission Vivekananda Educational Research Institute, Belur Math, West Bengal. Professor T. Reddy, Department of Physical Education, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Mr. Neeraj Kumar Mehra, Chief Executive Officer, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Sports Foundation. Mr. Gopal Chandra Saha, Professor, Department of Physical Education and Sports Science, Vishwa Bharati Shantiniketan, West Bengal. Professor P.C. Joshi, former Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi. Now, I invite Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay, Associate Professor, KSDU, for the seminar introduction.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. I'll be very brief because VC sir has already broadly sketched out. Professor Ota will speak, Uma ma'am will speak. Let me begin with a note of gratitude to our esteemed founder, sir, Professor Dr. Achyuta Samanta, who started a sapling with a handful of students in 1992. 30 years later, it's emerged into the world's single largest academic complex exclusively of indigenous students. The numbers are mind-boggling. Professor Samanta has gone on from strength to strength. But what strikes me the most about him is his single-mindedness of purpose. Once he decides to do something, he goes ahead and does it, no matter what comes in front or back. This seminar has been in the making for the last 6 or 7 months when Nanduri ma'am wanted us to hold JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav or something like it. I had no idea how to hold a seminar on tribal communities and sports. Initially, we were under the impression that we'll showcase various tribal communities and their various festivals in seasons where sports and physical activities predominate. It's very well known that physical activities and physicality per se is a salient aspect of tribal life, rhythm, culture, and society. But it's a bit of an axiom. Everybody takes it for granted. One way to do it was to showcase or describe the various festivals or occasions or ceremonies when these things are done. That has been done over the last 100 or so years. What remains to be done is to work out a relationship between how some of these festivals, moments, rituals, ceremonies inculcate a distinct orientation in the mind and body of tribal communities and members of tribal communities, which in turn, in some way, create a predilection among them to perform well in sporting activities in the modern world. This relationship was yet to be worked out, and I had no clue how to do that. So at this moment, I'd like to thank the government of India as such. They have put together a wonderful archive of PhD dissertations in all Indian universities. And this is also to my research students. It's called Shodh Ganga. And I essentially drowned myself in Shodh Ganga for a while. And I came up with remarkable individuals and professors, Professor Rao, Professor Reddy, Professor Soren, Professor Tudu, Professor Saha, all of them, I dug out where they teach and I bothered them at very short notice and they kindly spoke to me and agreed to talk. Along came Neeraj 4 days ago, and then I discovered he's a bit of a wonder. He helped me get in touch with the international participants and things fell in place. I still don't know what will come out of the seminar. All of these are extremely distinguished resource persons. All of them have over 15 to 20 years of research experience as teachers, as scholars, as individuals, and as researchers who spend considerable amount of time among the indigenous communities themselves. More than half of them are themselves indigenous community members and scholars, as you can see. My only expectation from this seminar is a book. And that's where I'd like to stop. I thank my Vice Chancellor. I thank in particular my Registrar, Dr. Rautrai, who has been instrumental with me at every stage during the organization of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas and JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav both, especially this seminar, down to the last detail. And Professor Mehta, Professor Joshi, Professor Ota, all my colleagues here, dear Apratim, Soumya especially, who's been walking with me untiringly for the last 7 days. He's been living with me last 4 days. So thank you very much. I look forward to the next 2 days and the deliberations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Bandyopadhyay. Now, I would kindly request Professor A.B. Ota, Professor Emeritus PhDU and former Director and Special Secretary SC/ST RTI, to deliver his address.
Esteemed Joint Secretary, Minister of Culture, our good old friend, Madam Uma Nanduri, Professor Deepak Kumar Behra, Vice Chancellor, Case Deemed to be University, esteemed registrar, Professor Rautray, Professor Joshi, Professor Mehta, all the esteemed participants, experts rather, who could come over physically to this place, and all the faculty of KIS deemed to be university and student friends, research scholars. This seminar, in fact, is a part of JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav 2023. And if you really look at things, this is nothing but part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. But this is the maiden, attempt that Madam Nanduri, with KIS deemed to be university, has been able to stage the first JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav. I extend my gratitude on behalf of KIS to Ministry of Culture, in particular, Madam Nanduri, and also the state government, and KIS for making it happen. Well, this entire exercise, I can divide, into three folds. First of all, there is a competition going on, focusing on 10 events, which we say that they are indigenous games. Mind you, indigenous games doesn't necessarily mean tribal games. When we say indigenous games, there are many games which are indigenous to tribal, indigenous to India. From out of that, there are some games which have a tribal origin. We should be very clear about this. This is the first thing which KIS is doing as a part of this. The second thing is they have also identified a number of sports which are tribal sports essentially, and they are getting demonstrated, which can be appreciated by all, so that that can be taken forward to integrate it with the mainstream sport. The third component of this entire Mahotsav is the luminaries, the tribal luminaries in the field of sports will be placed before you, either physically or through posters, and we will remember them so that the tribal identity can be established. Friends, if you look at the indigenous sports, in fact, UNESCO 2003 convention, if you look at, they have identified quite a large number of sports, and they have classified sports and games as intangible cultural heritage. If you look at UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage document is at page 3, it mentions. And there are different classification of sports and games. If you look at the World Sports Encyclopedia 2003, it has a directory of more than 8,000 indigenous sports and sporting games. The very purpose as to why, so we know very well that if Indian sports has been taken into international level, achievements and acclaims have been made, either it could be Asian Games, it could be World Olympics, Commonwealth Games, you will find that majority of our achievers are tribals, which means there is something inherent in tribals which have made them to come up to this level of action. Otherwise, we, the organized, we are getting a lot of opportunities, a lot of promotion, but tribals with least, promotion and, what should I say, with investment in them, they are excelling. So here is a section of population who should be identified at an early age. Clusters need to be identified where who is good at, and we should nurture them so that they can bring more pride for the country and state. Having said that, I must tell you that Odisha, since it is held in Keys and Odisha has been identified by Government of India as the sports capital of India. And if you ask me, I will certainly vouch for Keys as the sports arena for the tribals in India. It should get recognition, and the very fact that Madam Nanduri has brought this event to Keys is a testimony. Coming back to the documentation part of indigenous knowledge, the indigenous sports or tribal sports in particular. I'm talking about tribal sports. Indigenous is something different. There are many sports in India which do not have a tribal origin. But we have 705 strong tribal communities in the country. And let me tell you, each community has some typical sports or the other which they are practicing. Some of them have vanished. Some of them are still in continuance. We have wonderful scholars here, but if you look at the documentation on games and sports of tribals, I think it is very scanty. As you know, tribal culture is languishing thick and fast. Though Government of India, state government, they are trying their best to promote, conserve, protect the tribal culture as much as possible. The core elements of tribal culture is vanishing. Sports is an important cultural marker of the tribes. I would suggest that this seminar should do two things. One, we must try to map out what all work has been done so far in documenting the tribal sports. Mind you, documenting tribal sports doesn't mean that you just write a paragraph or two and say that this is the sports that the Koya or the Gonds or the Kans practice. The rule of the game and its origin, significance, and how it can be taken forward for integrating with the mainstreaming this needs to be done. And I would suggest that all stalwarts who are here, I am not a stalwart in this line, should try to stitch it together. And as our Honorable Vice Chancellor said, if with the existing documentation that you people have done, researches that you have done, empirical researches you have done, can come up with a book, that will be a modest beginning. And I will suggest 4 or 5 things to Madam Nanduri, since she is representing Ministry of Culture here, to take it forward in the interest of tribals, in the interest of this area, and also for the kids and kids them to be university. Madam, as you know, this is the globally biggest, single institution under whose umbrella more than 30,000 tribal students, covering all 62 tribal communities, 13 PVTGs of the state, and also tribals from other states of the country. So I think you won't find tribal India in such a limited, space in the entire country. You have very fittingly, given the opportunity for the inaugural JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav to be conducted by his deemed to be university. I would request you that Ministry of Culture should take a decision with your recommendation to hold this kind of an event every year, and a calendar should be fixed so that in the event calendar of Government of India and in the event calendar of the state, and it can be put in public domain, so that not only we'll hold a competition just to limit it within the four walls of peace. Visitors can also come and see it, so that the tribal identity can be established, and tribals will find it really very useful to take it forward for restoration of their culture. Second, ma'am, as you know, the informations are scanty, documentation is scanty, on the other hand, the culture is disappearing fast. I think there's a need for documentation. How the documentation will be done, and how they how it will be taken forward in the entire country. We won't speak for Odisha, we have to speak for the entire country. I'll be happy if KIS can come forward with a proposal to Ministry of Culture, and a center of excellence is set up in KIS deemed to be university, which is an appropriate place for doing research, mapping of various kinds of tribal sports, and possibly for spotting the tribal sports talents, particularly in the in tribal games and sports, so that they can be nurtured and they can be trained and capacitated. Third thing I must tell you, ma'am, Ministry of Tribal Affairs does, so does Ministry of Culture. But here is an area which is very important, neglected. You may think of giving 4 or 5 fellowships to KIS deemed to be university, so that 4 or 5 students every year, research scholars every year, can do research on this item, so that over a period of 5 to 6 years, could be 10 years, I don't know, the entire documentation can be done for the country, and a repository kind of a thing can be generated. The fourth thing I'll tell you is World Anthropology Congress. KIS is hosting it, and United Indian Anthropology Forum, in collaboration with Utkal University, Parampur University, and Delhi University, they are organizing from 9th to 14th of August World Anthropology Congress, where we are expecting more than 1,000 anthropology experts, both budding and senior anthropologists, will be attending, and even sports is also part of that. Ideally, taking this JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav, probably that will be a fitting place where we can put posters, we can put standees, we can make poster presentation of all the tribal achievers, tribal sports achievers of the country, and we can also display some of the tribal sports which are in practice but not in mainstream. And this will be my 4th submission. And if Ministry of Culture will be generous enough, then and you have been so very supportive right from the beginning. You have entered into Ministry of Culture, Government of India, in supporting peace in many ways. If some support can be provided for this World Anthropology Congress in some form or the other, I believe it will go a long way in not only establishing tribal identity, but also taking forward all the mandates that Ministry of Culture has contemplated in its mission for protecting, conserving, and propagating culture, more so the tribal culture. With these words, I look forward to this, workshop to be a very productive one. And at the end of the workshop, post-workshop, I think we should seriously think of editing a book and bringing it out as a modest beginning. And we have in Tribal Research Institute have conducted on tribal sports in 3 states very detailedly with funding support of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. We have identified Odisha, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh about 923 tribal sports which we have documented. If the organizers want, I can pass it on. I think I have already passed it on to Anirban. I can also give a soft copy to you, which can be used as a reference material to bring out this publication. I again extend my gratitude on behalf of KIS to Madam Manduri for her help, and we look forward for further help to keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words. Now, I have the privilege to invite Srimati Uma Nanduri, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, to deliver her address.
Thank you. I take this opportunity to welcome you all once again for this conference on Janjatiya, on the eve of JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav. So, being the ministry in the Ministry of Culture as working as a joint secretary, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Yesterday also I highlighted what is being done under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Just for the sake of reputation, since some of the people are professors and who can carry this message across the country. So I'll just try to repeat it. We started our journey of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in March 2021, and from then onwards, we are growing and graduating one after another. We started with the kind of whole of a government approach involving the Government of India, different ministries and the state government. And subsequently, we have transmigrated or graduated from the whole of government approach to the whole of people approach. Now we are going out and out. We started with the event-based approach, and then we graduated to campaign-based approach. And in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav 2.0, we have taken 9 themes on which we are working. And some of the themes are like water conservation, women and child development, tribal empowerment, unity, inclusive development, Atmanirbhar Bharat, cultural pride. And so these themes are basically derived. If you know, that is called our Honorable Prime Minister, time and again he says about the Panch Pran. One of the 2 major activities of the Panch Pran which are of relevance to us is one should have get out of the shunning the colonial mindset. And all of us have got the colonial mindset with us in some form or the other. So we all have to deliberately take steps to come out of this colonial mindset. And second is that we should have a pride in our own culture, in our own roots. We should be strongly rooted in our culture. At the same time, we should progress further. So these are the 2 aspects in which are of relevance to us. And taking that cue from the Panchapran of which Honorable Prime Minister is enunciating time and again, we have conceptualized this concept of organizing the unique cultural event, that is tribal sports meet. This tribal sports meet, why yesterday Dharmendra Pradhan sir has asked us, why are you here? Why not the sports ministry? So then I gave him the answer. He was very happy with the answer. See, had it been a competitive sports, we don't find the place. This indigenous and also the tribal sports, as he has, now our Ottavavu has clearly defined what is the difference between a tribal sport and an indigenous sport. So these tribal sports, there are so many pahalus, there are so many angles to it. They are being played every day. This is a lifestyle. And you have also told one more point. The point is that why the tribal people are being successful in the tribal sports event. मुझे जो लग रहा है, maybe their lifestyle and their way they live with close to the nature. I think that must be one of the basic reasons why they are able to successful. We get up very late in the daytime. You see any tribal getting up late in the daytime? No, it won't happen like that. So we have some party the previous night and we'll get up at 9 o'clock. At least we will get up at 9 o'clock. Look at our children. Getting up at 10 o'clock is a normal new norm for them. So if this is the lifestyle we follow, what is the games and what is the sports and what is the medal we are going to win? So मुझे जो लगता है कि they are living close to nature and following that circadian rhythm of cycle. So this might be the one of the reasons, strong reasons, and the kind of food they eat, which is very close to nature. So maybe this must be the reason, and you are the experts in the subject. You can explore it further on you can deliberate on this and see this journey of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav when we started in 2021 until now. We have done more than 2 lakh events. So organizing 2 lakh events is not a joke by any standard. So, but still then, I admire Kiss and Kitten. In spite of we doing so much of a thing, I'm seeing I have come here on, I think, Janjatiya November. In November, we have come. I have come for the first time. And this is on the eve of Bhagwan Birsa Munda's Vardhanti. Yesterday, we started our JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav. So this is after 6 months again, I came here. Everybody's face is so smiling. They do a lot of work. I don't know how do they smile so much. So this is something which everybody has to learn it. How to manage the stress. They have acquired this skill very beautifully and they have imbibed it so nicely. So this every one of us should be able to inculcate this habit. So that's what I was telling. In spite of doing 2 lakh events, also we feel sometimes every day, every event is a new thing, and the challenges are new. So they're able to do it so nicely. And once again, congratulations to the whole Kiss and Kid team, especially our honorable Registrar Saab, Anirban, and VC. VC sir, we miss you so much yesterday and today. So anyway, competitive sports, so anyway you will be doing. In addition to the competitive sports, this tribal sports, what has to be done for this, sir? He has given me, Ottababu has given me 4 tasks. So now I'm religiously I have noted down all those 4 tasks and how to carry it further. So some of the things I think we can do, some of the things it has to be done in collaboration with different ministries. Maybe tribal affairs, sports, education, establishment of this anthropological linkage, and giving the kind of fellowships to this Kiss and Kid University, so that which helps in documentation. Maybe on behalf of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Ministry of Culture can take up this, and we will collaborate with all the universities and come up with some kind of a sound proposal for this. So that I think that we can do. Establishment of Center of Excellence. So we will take an initiative. Definitely we'll take initiative after going back, and we'll see how it can be worked out. And in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, apart from doing the events in different aspects, like we start from the Kashmir also. In Kashmir, we are doing a Vitasta festival. How Kashmir has to be integrated with the rest of the country. And we have done the festival in Tamil Nadu. How Kashmir and Tamil Nadu are linked. You know, we have done the seminar there also. The Kashmir is continuously linked with Tamil Nadu, even Maharashtra, literally, and also the river-wise, nature-wise, everything is linked. We think we are separate, but we are not. So these kind of linkages we are trying to work out in different aspects. You come in Punjab, we have done a lot of activities on Birbal Divas. Birbal Divas is something that so many people have done a lot of contributions, even at the age of 9-10 years. Their contributions for the first time under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we are trying to bring out who has really contributed for our country. Is it that whatever we are reading, is this the only contribution being done or something else? In this, we have done an intensive exercise of DDR and unsung heroes. If you visit the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav website, there are about more than 10,000 unsung heroes we have documented so far. How we have documented? We have taken help of people like you only. We have done countrywide workshops with the teachers. The teachers we thought is the closest community to the people. So they are going and documenting whosoever contributed for our freedom struggle. What is their contribution? Is there any document? Is there any family members are surviving? So those kind of documentation, those kind of activities have been done. And all this thing has been documented. If some of you are interested, you can go through it. And also we have been publishing a lot of books, an Amarachitra Katha. And we have asked the Ministry of Education also to upload these documents in their websites on tribal heroes who have contributed for the freedom struggle, on women who have contributed for the freedom struggle, on the parliamentarians who have contributed for the freedom struggle, women parliamentarians. Like that, number of documents we are producing, everything is there in our website. You can go through the website also. So like this, I just wanted to bring you what kind of activities are being done under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And starting down the line. And you know, there are linkages between Tamil Nadu and Varanasi. In our childhood, every one of us, we call it as Kasi. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. So my Karma Bhumi is Odisha only. Matru Bhumi is Andhra. Karma Bhumi is Odisha. So people used to say Kasi. Kasi mein marna achhi baat hoti hai. People, I'm not telling anything false. Persons जो है कि जो एज जो होता है 80 साल होने के बाद दे वांट टू गो टू काशी. काशी जाके वहीं पर पूजा पाठ करके वहीं मरना चाहते हैं. वहीं मरने से लोग सोचते हैं कि स्वर्ग धाम है. पूरी. And you know the linkage, this is something personal which I should not share, but I am sharing it with you. My mother had come to me just before her death. And instead of doing cremation for her in Kasi, we did in Puri. Puri we called it as Swargadham. So I'm just telling you because all of you have come from different parts of the country and it is being seen by others also abroad, outside also. This Odisha is such a beautiful state. And you see everything in abundance. Natural resources in abundance. You have got beautiful textiles. You have got richness of temples, richness of diversity, richness of culture. When you are there in Odisha, please visit some of these places. You have got a beautiful Lingaraj temple, Jagannath Dham, hai Jagannath. So you visit this Boyanika, Utkalika, beautiful clothes you get. Okay? While you are there in here, you explore all these avenues and get good out of Odisha and feel good and you become the ambassadors for Odisha. So this is my request on behalf of it is my Karma Bhumi. I request all of you. And coming back to the conference, what is expected of the conference? Conference तो बहुत सारी चीज होते हैं. आज आते हैं, कल बात करते हैं, परसों चले जाते हैं. So please don't do that. Whatever is how these tribal games can be integrated into the mainline sporting activities that we have to explore. Explore whatever the number. Now, don't do everything. You cannot do everything in one place. Let us pick up 20-25 only. So 25 games ka, tribal games ka, whether or even 25 also if we are able to bring to the mainstream, that is the biggest achievement. Of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is the biggest achievement for kids and kids. That is the biggest achievement for Government of India and achievement for the state government as well. So at least explore those options. What is that we can do? What are the rules? Whether they can be replicated, whether many people can generate interest out of this. And even we have to take efforts for generating the interest in the rest of the country. So these aspects, what exactly needs to be done? Try to work on that and come out a paper. Anirban, you please bring out a good document out of this. So document आप देने के बाद हम क्या करेंगे? Actually culture तो take up नहीं कर पाएगा. We will have a deliberations with the sports ministry and we will give you all this documentation to them and then try to see that as much as possible these games get incorporated in the mainstream sporting activity. So if that could be achieved, that is the biggest success for this seminar. Okay. So as yesterday I said, this is Raghunath Murmu. Raghunath Murmu is a Santali playwright. Yesterday I just told one thing. ये इन्होंने जो बताया था बहुत अच्छा बताया था, मुझे बहुत पसंद आया. वो मैं फिर से रिपीट करती हूँ आप हिंदी में. तुम्हारी बगैर दूसरा कोई तुम्हारी देश के भलाई के लिए काम नहीं करेंगे. स्वयं तुम्हें ही काम करना होगा. तुम्हारी देश की जरूरत के हिसाब से जो काम जरूरत है वो आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. ये बिगिनिंग जो है, स्पोर्ट्स आदमी स्पोर्ट्स करेगा. आप तो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, पढ़े लिखे फील्ड में आप क्या कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं देश के लिए. उस हिसाब से आप सोच के जितना आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हो प्लीज कंट्रीब्यूट कीजिए। ऐसा नहीं कि मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन का कोई मायने नहीं है। प्लीज डोंट थिंक लाइक दैट। एवरी समुद्र ऐसा एक दिन में नहीं बनता है, बूंद बूंद से तो बनता है। ऐसा ही आपका सबकी सोच धारा विचारधारा से ही हमारे देश की बुनियाद है। देश की मतलब यू आर ऑल द पिलर्स ऑफ अवर country, pillars of our development. Please do that. Contribute substantially with whatever form you can in these next 2 days and bring out a good document, a practical document. Don't live in theory. Come out with a practical document, what can be done. That is the most important. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. I would now request Dr. Prashant Kumar Rautray, Registrar KISDU, to deliver the formal word of
Good morning, Namaskar. So once again, on behalf of 30,000 Christians and on behalf of our honorable founder, we welcome to this international seminar on occasion of JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav. I don't know how to give a formal vote of thanks. Rather, I'm more excited, delighted to share some of my feelings. People started talking something about sports. But what I see since last 3 months, people are concerned about the tribal sports. So we are fortunate we have got a chance by getting the support of the Ministry of Culture to organize this type of workshop. It's not a workshop, but exactly our Professor Vyodha sir rightly said. This is action-oriented activities to mainstream our indigenous, not indigenous tribal sports, so that we can say more on this. Yes, people talking of sports, you are talking of tribal sports, not in the terms of sports, in terms of our academic activities. So for that, we have organized this type of workshop. That is why we invited so many experts to ignite us by sharing some of the thoughts, so that in future this will be a very meaningful and productive document, even if we can accommodate in all our academic activities. So that is the main purpose of organizing and inviting all these experts from this background. So first, we are extremely thankful to Madam, our Minister of Culture Joint Secretary, Uman Anduriji. I don't see her as a look at. I see her seen one of the change agent for the upliftment of the tribal communities, and this is one example. So whenever you organize a meeting, she never ever talks something about what to do, but she used to talk something about how to do this. This shows how she is concerned about the development of tribal communities, and with your guidance and support, definitely we will do our activities, whatever you have proposed to do this. In true sense, that is in action. So thank you, madam. And we have a strong bonding with you. We have already initiated that with support of our honorable founder, sir, and we will maintain this. Thank you for your kind presence. We are extremely thankful to our Professor Emeritus, former Director, Special Secretary, SCSDRTI, Government of Odisha, Professor Vyodha, sir. Professor Vyodha, how to start this? For us, he is himself a book. I am saying it's a book, whatever information you want to know about the tribal culture, tradition, habitation, anything. So that is in his fingertips. So he's a researcher for us. Sir, you have given some of the 5 points, not to the Minister of Culture, also we have given the homework to carry on this. So definitely, we will take care of this with your support and guidance. We are also thankful to our honorable other delegates present here. They will be with us for coming 2 days. Professor P.C. Joshi, he is one of our member in board of management case into the university. Also, he is one of the member of World Anthropological Congress. So we'll get more information during your delegation and also we'll take care of that, whatever suggestion you will give us during 2 days time. Also, we are thankful to Salina Mehtaji. She is also one of our, I would like to say, she is one of our extended family members. The way she used to deliver about development of tribal children, and particularly in the context of their academic and allied activities. And she is also maintaining on that. We are thankful for her kind presence also. We learned a lot from your delegation. We are extremely thankful to our honorable expert. Also, during 2 days, whatever expected by our honorable Joint Secretary Umananduriji and Abhyota sir and other experts, and hope we will get more meaningful information with your experience, your expertise in all these activities, what you have proposed and what we daily have. So thank you. And 2 days will be very meaningful for all of us. And thanks to Anil Pand, who supported the entire show since last 3 months. And we are also thankful to all our faculties and for the kind information of Joint Secretary Madam. We have research scholars here. They are more interested. Can you raise your hand? Can you stand up, please? All the research scholars. Okay. This shows the level of interest toward this type of workshop. Thank you for your kind presence, and this is another homework for you. Whatever information you will get it from all the experts, try to integrate in your research activities. Then you can foolproof by saying, so I'm the change agent for my society, be it in cultural activities, be it in sports activities, whatever way you want to provide. Thank you for your presence. And we are extremely thankful to our faculty, those who are present here. And last but not the least, we are thankful to our honorable founder, sir. I'll just go on example. When we started the meeting, before the meeting, he telephoned me. Prasan, what is the status of your workshop? What is going on? Though he is not in the Bhubaneswar, is out of station. This shows a person how is concerned about this, what exactly is propagating since last 30 years. Already our Vice Chancellor rightly said on this. So this shows, and if you read their sentence, some people dream of success, others make it happen. So he is our honorable Vice Chancellor, honorable founder, Dr. Ajay Sanghi. So lastly, it will be injustice if I not honor my supervisor, my guide, my philosopher. He is my Vice Chancellor, Professor Deepak Kumar Behra. Though he is in abroad, he is in Canada, but every day he used to monitor how far we are doing a JanjatiyaKhelMahotsav. So thank you, sir, for igniting us and giving our welcome speech, and thank you all. So we'll close our formal meeting, then we'll have a session after this treatment. Thank you all. Just tell them we have a group photo.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes. Down. One request, we go to the ground floor and we'll take a photo there. So Mara will leave because she has to catch up flight. So it will take hardly 3 minutes. We'll go there and take a group photo. Come here, we'll have a tea. Then we'll proceed for the next session. Please come.
Yeah.